We'd like to thank you, the co-chairs, Representative Lamar and Senator Leone, and Senator Martin, and all the honorable members of the Transportation Committee, especially our very own Representative Reyes, that actually allowed us to have this in front of us for consideration to give our input on today. I have some brief comments. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague here, Representative Ron Napoli, and then we're going to hear from Catherine Ekstrom, and she's an example of what we hope to develop with this new Waterbury rail line, and hopefully when you look at what she testifies, you can multiply that times 100 in terms of our expectation of what we hope to achieve, okay? At any rate, I just wanted to say, when we look at this Waterbury rail line, you know, many of us see it as a matter of fairness. I've been here going on 14 years, and I have supported all the other rail initiatives around the state. We, and me and many of my colleagues, have voted for and supported rail development all over the state. And now we're saying it's our turn. It's our turn. And as it's been reported, it's going to take some time, even with the money that we've started to put into this. It's going to take, what, 4 to 5 years to get new cars? Well, hopefully we could find some used ones to, you know, put in service before then, but that just tells us that it's so important to get started today on where we need to be going down the road. Also wanted to say that we've already started in the initial investment of $90 million. So, I mean, to get the return on investment, we need to act now. Mayor Hess and Mayor O'Leary pointed out eloquently to the point and metrics of why we need to actually take this initiative on. The economic development alone in this corridor could mean not only a boon for the valley, towns, and city, every town that gets some economic development out of this will benefit all the cities and towns in the valley, but more importantly, the state of Connecticut. If we want to actually help the state of Connecticut, I think that we could get the biggest bang for the buck out of this valley initiative. And finally, Senator Leone was asking about, you know, particular jobs. Well, I could tell you that Mayor O'Leary pointed out all the brownfield sites that we're actually developing. We're also put a lot of money into VOTech schools, okay? And the Naugatuck Valley Manufacturing City. We have 6 of these around the state, but a couple in our corridor that we can actually utilize, getting those students that are going to these schools jobs all up and down the valley. So I just wanted to say again, my last point is this is a matter of fairness, and that we have supported every other initiative for more than a decade here. It's our time, and we shouldn't be put on the bottom list. We need to be put on the front burner and let us actually develop our valley and help the state of Connecticut.
Thank you, Representative. I'm Ron Napoli, and I represent the 73rd District in Waterbury. I'd like to thank the chairs of this committee and the vice chairs and ranking members and the entire Transportation Committee for having this public hearing. We greatly appreciate your efforts. I'm honored to be here today with the Waterbury Rail Line Caucus in support of Ray's Senate Bill 155, an act concerning rail infrastructure improvements. Our colleague, State Senator Joan Hartley, was here for quite some time, but she had to go for another commitment. But she also thanks you all very much for having this public hearing. The Waterbury Rail Line is a 27.1 rail line from Waterbury to Bridgeport, which is the longest of the 3 branch lines that make up the Metro North Railroad New Haven line. Currently, Waterbury Rail Line has 6 stations: Waterbury, Naugatuck, Beacon Falls, Seymour, Ansonia, Derby, Shelton. There are approximately 1,000 daily riders, and as we know, ridership has increased 34% when we added 1 inbound trip to the morning peak hours commute last year. As a united bipartisan front, we stand behind our suggested plan for the Waterbury Rail Line. We hope that by bringing some focus to the Waterbury Rail Line, that transportation, investment, and economic growth will be improved throughout the Waterbury Valley region. If we make the necessary investments in the rail line, I believe my constituents will see an immediate improvement in their quality of life. And if I can just share a quick story with you, in my district, many houses are going up for sale, and many of the people who move in are from New York. And when I go over to meet them, they tell me that at least one spouse still has to drive to New York every day for work, and they won't take the rail because it's too much time. So this will definitely improve their quality of life. It'll help commerce and economic development, and we thank you all very much for your time.